Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video talking about how I plan to play the new upcoming gacha game, Wuthering Waves. It's made by Kuro Games. They also made Punishing Grey Raven. But I specifically wanted to talk about the free-to-play, pay-to-win aspect of these gacha games and how I plan to play Wuthering Waves. So I have played gacha games for maybe about 7 years now. I started with Bleach Brave Souls, and then I moved on to Fate Grand Order. Then I played Genshin, and now currently I'm playing Honkai Star Rail and Nikke. Um, and I wanted to talk about a way that I consider a safe way to play these games, as in terms of spending money. Now, I just want to preface and say that you don't have to listen to my advice. You don't have to take this video seriously. You can do whatever you want, spend your money however you want. I just believe personally this is one of the safest ways to play the game. Play these games. And that is basically not focusing heavily on being free to play or being pay to win. Like, I don't believe you need to not spend any money on these games, or you need to dump as much money as you can to get everything you want. Then again, I mean, we all know what types of games these are. You really shouldn't spend money on them anyways, but if you're going to, I'm just gonna explain to you the way that I do it. So, in Bleach Brave Souls, I didn't spend any money on it. That was the first gacha game I started out with. I didn't spend any money on the game because I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money to spend on it. That's why. That's pretty much why. I don't know if I would have if I had money. I probably would have, but I had no money, so I didn't spend money on the game. But I didn't have any issues getting the characters I wanted. I maybe missed one or two here and there, but I didn't cry over it. Fate Grand Order. Believe it or not, I have played this game for maybe 6 years now, consistently, and I have only spent $40 on the game. I have gotten every single character I want. I don't know if that's God RNG or not. I missed maybe maybe one character I didn't want. I couldn't get. But yeah, no, that's about it for that game. Genshin, I spent maybe around 100 something bucks on it, but I've played it since it came out. I only recently stopped playing it this past year, and I'll get into that when I talk about free to play. And then Honkai Star Rail, I've spent about, I think, 140 bucks on at this point. But I'm still playing the game. I'm enjoying it very much. And I'll get into that as well. On why I spent 100 bucks on Honkai Star Rail. And Nikke, I have spent no money on. I think Nikke is a great game. I have gotten every character I wanted, multiple copies. I've had no issues. I haven't spent any money on the game. I've gotten everything I wanted. But I started playing that game a year into its release, so maybe there's just a bunch of extra ways of getting currency for pulling that I just got in that game while playing it, but caught up now and I've had no issues. How I look at these gacha games is I would only ever consider spending money on them if I had invested a significant amount of time into the game. I would have to have been playing these gacha games consistently for at least 6 months before I even thought about putting any money into the game. And even if that was the case, I would spend as minimal as I possibly could. I wouldn't just go for the big $100 pull or anything. I'd weigh my options based on where I am in the pity system, and then only buy that amount of pulls I would need to guarantee that character or whatever. So that's basically how I played these games, is why I think it's why I've spent so little money on these games. But I also want to get into the issues I've had seeing people play pay to win and free to play in these types of games. I'm going to start with the free to play players, because I actually did this for Genshin for a long time. So the issue I have with free to play games is that you can burn out on these games really fast, or on most games playing free to play, because if you don't have the money option for these games, then you're gonna do probably what I did with Genshin, whereas I would play for multiple hours every single day for years, not spending money on these games, exploring, doing everything possible I could to not have to spend money on these games, and it burned me out of the game really, really quick. I slowly started to play it less and less, and then it just fell off for me. I couldn't do it anymore, and I didn't want to spend money on the game. The only time in the game I spent money was when the Raiden Shogun came out. I dropped $100 in the game for her, and I haven't spent money since. On Genshin specifically. So I got burned out on this game, and then it just got really, really boring for me to play, not to mention the other issues Genshin's having right now. I know all about the issues it's having. Trust me, it's one of the reasons I dropped the game. It's just not that fun of a game anymore. And then another factor going into free-to-play I wanted to mention is getting baited. Getting baited by streamers or content creators telling you to pull for a character or a weapon before they even come out, or even when they come out. What I usually recommend you do is just wait and see, test the character out for yourself, look at the weapon, see if it's something you actually really, really want, and then pull for it. Because if you pull for something you don't want, and then you get it and you realize you don't want it, and then something else is going to come out, and that's something you do want, it's going to tip you over the scales probably to spend money. This happened to me in Honkai Star Rail. I saw all the hype for Jing Yuan, and I pulled for him, even though I didn't really know what the character did or anything like that. And what did I get? A character I don't really like using or even use anymore. And I forgot who the next character who came out after Jing Yuan was. Or it might have been when Kafka came out. I no longer had the pulls to get Kafka. So, and I really, really wanted her. So what did I do? I dropped $100 on the game. I dropped $100 on the game, and I got my character, but I was upset at myself because I pulled for a character I didn't want, and now I had no use for him. The same thing applies for weapons. I know weapons are kind of harder to test because you can't play test weapons, unfortunately. But I'd say use the same discretion if you can. Usually the weapons aren't worth it in these games anyways. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to move on to free-to-play players. Or, my bad, I'm going to move on to pay-to-win players. So, I don't think you should be a pay-to-win player if you don't have the money. That's the number one rule on these games. If you don't have the money, you're not in a financially good situation, do not spend money on these games. It will always, always, always ruin you. It is not good. Never do it. Never spend money if you don't have the money to spend on these games. There's just no point. It's not going to help you. It's not going to do anything for you. Now that we got the obvious, which I believe is the most obvious point out of the way, the other one is, in a lot of these games, when you dump a bunch of money in these games and pull all these E6 characters, E5 weapons, and all that, you just make the game too easy. There's no more challenge to the game, which I enjoy. I play these games because I like doing the end game modes and just testing to see how far I can get without spending any money on the games, or the minimal amount of money, because I do spend money on these games. It just takes the fun out of the game, I think. I honestly think dumping all this money into the game takes the fun out of it, because you just one-shot everything. And it's just... yeah. I just don't find it enjoyable. But those are the main things I just wanted to talk about for these games. It's just... I think you really should just take away that you should not spend money on these games if you don't have to. And if you're going to, just please try to weigh all your options before you spend money on these games. Is it really a character you need? Is it really a weapon you need? Did you test them? Did you even enjoy the character? Please make sure you're pulling for characters you actually like. Don't pull for characters just because you think they're good. Because if you think they're good and you pull for them, and either they're not good or they are good, but you don't have fun with their playstyle, what was the point of pulling them? I faced this reality when I pulled for Jing Yuan. It was my own fault, which is why I'm making this video. Because I just want to help other people. But Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Just be smart with your money, be safe. If you're gonna spend money on these games, make sure you do it in a smart way, and just have fun. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a like, comment if I missed any points. I was rambling a bit. Not very good at doing these these talking videos just yet, but yeah. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Take care. Hope you enjoyed. All right, now that we got all the boring preachy shit out of the way, when Yinlin comes out, bro, tell me that you will not be pulling for this bitch. I'm telling you right now, I'm selling my house, my car, my dog, my firstborn child, just so I can get this bitch on my account. Look at this. You're telling me when this bitch drops, you ain't gonna be spending all your money on it? Fuck what I said earlier, bro. This is what we're going for. All right?